Hey everybody, welcome back to the final boss. We're talking about Everybody's Gone to the Rapture. This is the new PS4 exclusive from creators The Chinese Room. Everybody's Gone to the Rapture tells two interwoven stories. You have the story of the townspeople who live in the fictional Yachten Valley in the 1980s, and then you have the story of the apocalyptic event that caused them all to up and disappear. First, I'd actually like to clear up any misconception that this game is religious. It's actually not religious in any sense of the word, really. The story is more science-based than anything I found. So, the title word Rapture is used only as a descriptive word for everyone, disappearing. So, first you'll notice the world of Yachten that you're put in is beautiful and extremely well detailed. Visually, this game is stunning. As you wander the areas of Yachten Valley, the story is given to the player by means of overhearing phone calls, radio conversations, and CB broadcasts.
The event has left markers. We don't understand it yet, but we're going to keep working to try and understand it.
However, most of the major character development comes from witnessing illuminated echoes of real-life conversations. It's almost as if they were etched into time and space itself, which I thought was really awesome. Some of the conversations take place on the night of the apocalyptic event, and others actually take place months or years prior to that event.
I'm trying to do my job. You two will be the only staff on site for this rotation. I'm just saying, if the main gate's power fails, then there's no way in or out of the observatory.
That's why there are backup generators. Jesus, why the hell are we even discussing this?
Just don't you come running to me if you get locked in.
If we get locked in, we won't be able to come running to you, will we? You let us worry about the clever stuff, and you can concentrate on sweeping up leaves and changing light bulbs. Happy? Now piss off.
Depending on how carefully you explore, you can miss crucial conversations altogether. The interesting thing is that because this game is non-linear, the order in which events are experienced can actually lead to the player having different perceptions of what's going on. A person sounding like they have good motivations at first might later, based on newly heard conversations, seem to have more sinister ulterior motives. Or perhaps vice versa if clues are encountered in a different order. So I thought that was a really interesting way to have this story unfold. The game gives you a tremendous amount of freedom and really trusts players to fully explore the world to the best of their ability. Now, you will be loosely guided through each chapter by a glowing orb of light that guides you to specific conversations, which I'd imagine to be the most important ones. Now, the story is actually divided into 6 chapters. The chapters are named for Jeremy, Wendy, Frank, Lizzie, Steven, and finally Kate. These are the game's main characters. The orb wordlessly reflects the personality of the character for which the chapter is named, which I actually thought was really awesome. It's almost as if these people were reaching out to tell you their story, after they had gone. Now, the game is 100% driven by story and the development of its characters, so don't expect much from gameplay mechanics, as the most interacting thing there is to do is basically turn on or off a radio, open some doors, and you could even turn on and off some lights. That's it. I've seen some criticisms about this, and I've heard people call the game PS4's walking simulator. I don't agree with that. I feel like that's a shallow perception of the game itself. I had a great time playing it, even though there wasn't much to do. I finished the game in about 5 hours, and all the while I actually had no idea how much time had elapsed since I started playing because I was so immersed in the world, the story, and its characters that was, all unfolding in front of me. I definitely plan on going through another time or two just in case I missed anything the first time around. I'm not going to go any further into the story because I don't want to cheapen the experience for those who plan on playing it. The impact of the story can only really come from the way it unfolds to the player. Each player will undoubtedly have their own interpretation of the story and the deeper meaning to some of the game's more open-ended segments and plot points. If you have to mash buttons in order to enjoy a game, this is not going to be for you. Don't even bother. Don't waste your time or money. It's extremely slow-paced. The game is all about atmosphere and dialogue, and I'm not saying in any way that that's a bad thing. It's just definitely not for certain players. Some people want a more linear experience. Some people want to shoot guns and blow people up. this is not that game. The dialogue is the best I've seen in a video game since The Last of Us.
I'm scared. Mrs. Gables just called me and said her husband's vanished. She was very frightened. She said there was blood coming up from his ears and his nose.
What the hell do you want me to do? Until they lift the quarantine, we're not going anywhere. Just tell them to drink plenty of fluids, stay warm, and follow the instructions on the radio.
Dr. Phil, please, you have a duty to your patient. Your nose.
My rating for this game is a full price, a very high full price. It's worth every penny. I definitely suggest picking it up. It's a really beautiful and heartbreaking human story that definitely left a mark on me. So I hope you all decide to play it and experience it for yourselves. Alright, so that's going to wrap it up, guys. Those are my thoughts and feelings on Everybody's Gone to the Rapture. I thank everybody for watching. Leave a rating and your thoughts on the game in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more game reviews and news.